This is the AHSAA Weekly, an inside look at the Alabama High School Athletic Association. I'm John Holder. Coming up on this week's program, we're going to speak with two head coaches of two playoff teams involved in games that you'll see right here this weekend on WOTM. First, it's Josh Floyd, head coach of the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies, getting ready for a huge game in Class 7A Region 3 second-round playoff rematch with the Thompson Warriors in Alabaster. That will be our AHSAA Game of the Week, Friday night live right here on WOTM. We'll also speak with Adam Fawcett. He's the head coach of the B.B. Comer Tigers of Sylacauga. They've got a big game in Class 2A as they travel to Southeast Alabama to take on the Abbeville Yellow Jackets. You'll see that game on WOTM delayed on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Also, we'll have a Central Board Spotlight. We'll beat District 4 member out of Opelika High School, Dr. Farrell Seymour. And David Holzford's highlights are ahead as we take you around the state to look at playoff highlights from games from last week. All of that and more on this week's edition of the AHSAA Weekly.
Home making you sick? Moisture and unsafe air from your crawl space can infiltrate your home, causing health hazards and high utility bills. Ox Foundation Solutions can remedy any mold or mildew problem in your home. It's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Tony said for Sylacauga.
Keep more cash for back to school with 0% APR financing for up to 72 months and up to $13,000 off MSRP on new Ford trucks. Plus, we've got guaranteed credit approval and up to $4,000 over KBB value for your trade when you upgrade to a new Ford.
The right people, a better customer experience, and nobody beats our bottom line price. Nobody.
I got back my Smack Talk touchdown hole-in-one three-point home run, hat-trick pavement pounding record-setting goal across the finish line. Because Core didn't give up, I didn't give up. And I certainly didn't give in. I'm going to get back to doing what I love. I'm going to get back to winning.
We continue now with the AHSAA Weekly. We have another Central Board Spotlight. This is the principal at Opelika High School and Central Board member out of District 4, Dr. Farrell Seymour.
Opelika Principal Farrell Seymour started his educational career in Opelika more than 20 years ago, and he's never left. It began at Opelika Middle School, first as a science teacher and later as assistant principal and principal. In 2011, he moved to Opelika High as principal and helped expand advanced placement, dual enrollment, and other programs with a simple and effective style that puts students first.
Well, concerning managerial style, I do believe that education and really life overall is all about relationships with people, and particularly the school level. The better, positive, healthy relationships that can be formed between a teacher and a student, that makes all the difference in a young person's life. And so, managerially speaking, I want to develop relationships with students, teachers that are positive, that are encouraging. I want to hire and keep the best people possible so that they are developing those relationships with students throughout the day. I want to model that for my teachers. I want to model that with our students. Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that the child's experience at our school is as positive as it can be. And that begins with the adults. It begins with me to making sure I set that tone. But it really ultimately comes down to those positive, healthy relationships.
Seymour, who grew up on a family farm in Coleman County and played basketball at West Point High, joined the AHSAA Central Board of Control in 2019 as the replacement for Beauregard's Dickie Brown, a longtime board member and a 2014 inductee into the AHSAA Hall of Fame.
Well, my experience on the Central Board has been phenomenal. what I found is the organization, from the executive director to staff, members of the central board, and all the committees with whom I've had to serve or an opportunity to serve, has been such a positive experience because it's collaborative, it's always student-centered and student-focused, and at the end of the day, the outcome is to benefit the children of the state. And I want to be part of an organization that helps benefit students. Obviously, athletics is the focus, but I think it certainly bleeds over to other areas too, because I have learned different ideas through my experience with Central Board membership on how to be a better leader, how to gather ideas from other school leaders from across the state. And their schools may not look the same as mine. They may be bigger or smaller, or private or public. And the ideas that I've gathered from these wonderful professionals has helped me develop as a school leader. And I'm very thankful for that. It's a tremendous organization. I'm honored to serve in this capacity.
Things a little bumpy in your driveway? AHSAA Foundation Solutions has the expertise and the know-how to repair cracks, wet basements and crawl spaces, and uneven floors in your home. AHSAA Foundation Solutions will come up with the right fix for you. It's time to get strong. How strong? AHSAA Strong. Get a free estimate from AHSAA Foundations.
Without our contest officials, we would have no contest. I truly encourage our parents to be a shining example of sportsmanship regarding our contest officials and setting example for everyone, as well as coaches and fans across this state, to treat our officials with respect.
This holiday season, visit Festival of Lights in Oxford, Alabama for an unforgettable drive-through family-friendly light show. Enjoy the twinkling lights, visit with Santa, go ice skating, and more. Tickets on sale now at oxfordlights.com.
Aunt Diana Sellers 80 loved Popeye's Wicked Shrimp, and she sang about it.
It's so good. And it's tailless too? All I gotta do is dip it and pop it. Dip it and pop it.
Get Popeye's new Wicked Shrimp with a biscuit and a side for just $5.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Your health is everything. It is your wealth. Your family's wealth. Being and staying healthy is the only security you can give to yourself and loved ones, your family. With a multifaceted approach to health and wellness, our family will assist and guide you in that quest. Live responsibly. Join our family. Call and make your appointment today.
We are back now, going to preview our WOTM AHSAA Game of the Week, which is coming up this week. It is going to be a fantastic game, a rematch from a regular season game. Two of the powerhouse teams in high school football, not only in the state of Alabama, but I would say in the South, a top three matchup. Hewitt-Trussville traveling to Alabaster to take on the Thompson Warriors, a 1-3 matchup. We're joined now by the head coach of the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies, Coach Josh Floyd. Coach Floyd, glad to have you with us this week on the AHSAA Weekly.
Definitely. Thanks for having me on.
Coach, let's talk about the game coming up. Obviously, when you get to this point, you're in a rematch and you've been in the region with these guys. Not a whole lot of secrets between Hewitt-Trussville and Thompson. Just your assessment of the rematch and going around with these guys the second time.
Sure. Well, they're obviously a really good football team. Coach Freeman's done a great job building a program over there, and we've had some really good battles with Thompson over the past 3 or 4 years, and it's kind of, we've won some, they've won some, and it's just one of those things. You don't necessarily want to play them in the quarterfinals, but it is what it is, man. We're gonna have to play them at some point, and they're a really good football team, very, very talented on both sides of the ball. Have a great quarterback that can that's super athletic, but he has a lob on. He can make any throw, and you know, when the play breaks down, that's almost when he's at his best. And defensively, they're just super physical. Their D line and their front seven, man, it's as good as I've seen. And so they're obviously going to be a tough battle for us.
Coach Floyd, you are the last football team to beat Thompson. You beat them last year. They haven't lost since then. Number 1 ranked team in the state, defending state champion. So you know what it takes to beat these guys. Tell us from your vantage point, what's it take for your team to pull off a win again against these guys here in 2020?
Well, we've obviously have to play great football, and you know, I think it's one of those that's going to come down to a few plays, and you never know what that play might be, and that's something we talk to our kids about all the time. You never know if it's going to be special teams or a play here, a missed tackle here, or you know, maybe it's a hustle play. I mean, I think of a play a few weeks ago where we were playing a team, and their quarterback broke loose, and we had a guy just great effort. Run down the field, caught him from behind, and 2 plays later he fumbles, and they were at the 1 yard line about to go in to score. You know, so that was a big time play for us, a hustle play. You just never know if it's gonna be like that. Last week we had some big plays on special teams, and so you know, I think it'll come down to that. Obviously, like it does every week. I mean, whoever protects the football. We had a chance last time we played them. We had a few crucial turnovers in the fourth quarter where we were driving down to have a chance to score, and that obviously hurt us pretty bad. And, you know, you just can't make those kind of mistakes and beat a good football team.
Coach, I believe you pulled off a fumble-rooski against James Clemens. Is that right? Tell us about that, and maybe any other tricks you may have up your sleeve.
Yeah, we did, man. We've had that play for a few weeks. It was fun. It's a play that we've had in our system for a long time, and it was fun. You know, I was glad it worked. Honestly, it never works in practice, man. It seems like it never works. Of course, our defense kind of knows it, but it never works in practice. We thought it was a good moment in the game to try it right before half, and if it didn't work, you know, it was okay. We still had enough time to try to get a chance to go score. So they happened to punt it right where we wanted it, and it was fun, man. Connor Thomas was a kid that was able to make the play. He starts actually on defense for us, but he's a really good weapon on offense as well. So just the play's called CT because that's his initials. So it was fun to run it.
Well, it will be one of the top high school football games in America this week. Great matchup between Hewitt, Trussville, and Thompson at Alabaster. Coach, thank you so much for spending time with us here on the AHSAA Weekly to preview the game.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Josh Floyd is the head coach of the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies, getting ready to take on Thompson this coming Friday night on the AHSAA Game of the Week here on WOTL. We are back now speaking with the head coach of the B.B. Comer Tigers, Coach Adam Fawcett. B.B. Comer traveling to Abbeville in the second round of the Class 2A state playoffs coming up this week. Coach, welcome in. Glad to have you with us on the AHSAA Weekly.
Thanks. Good to be here. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Coach, let's talk about history being made. You are going to be the first AHSAA football team in history to advance to the second round because of a forfeit because of the coronavirus. History will be made. No other team has ever done that. Hopefully no team will ever do that again as we make our way through this. I would imagine the last couple of weeks have been an interesting time for you and your football team.
The whole season's been an interesting time for us, honestly, and it's a kind of odd to me because we're one of the teams that's been fortunate to be able to play the entire season without issues. And we get all the way through the season, we get to the postseason, and that forfeit comes along, and the forfeit goes to our advantage. But you want to be able to play that game, obviously, and it didn't work out that way. You know, talking about history, for us, for B.B. Comer, it would have been the first time in 20 years that we had hosted a first-round game. So that's a huge ordeal that we kind of missed out on. But you know, it's one of those things that we can't control, and I'm all about controlling the controllables, and so we take care of what we can control.
Coach, you come into this game on Friday with Abbeville. This is a game that is going to be two teams that are extra white hot right now. Your football team playing very well. You're 10-1. Abbeville comes in at 9-1. Not only have you won 10 football games, but the way you've been doing it here these last 2 or 3 weeks of the season, you've had some big wins.
Yes, defensively we've played well, and when defense plays well and puts us in a good position and gives us good field position, we're able to score a lot of points and do a lot of things. So we hope that carries over into Friday night, and Coach Stewart does a good job with Abbeville and has them prepared. I've seen them on film, and they do a great job. But I like the confidence our team has. I like the enthusiasm that we have, and again. Everybody's talking about the layoff and how long it's been since we played, but it's one of those things where we were able to get healthy. We were able to heal up some bruises and we're actually able to get one or two guys back that we didn't have. So we look at it as a positive and looking forward to Friday night.
Coach Fawcett, another thing that's unique about this for B.B. Comer is you got a long road trip. This is something that is going to be new for you and your team and football program, making about a 4-hour trip way down to southeast Alabama. Tell us about the preparations for going on a long road trip like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of preparing that goes into it. I think people don't realize what goes into the coaching aspect that's not X's and O's, that's not football related. So once we found out who our opponent was last Friday, phone calls started as far as trying to find a couple charter buses, trying to find the best rate, seeing about, is our band going to be able to go, and working with our band director, making sure that you make it to the playoff meeting on Saturday and get all that information and set the bracket, and finding a place to feed the guys pregame meal. So you make yourself a list and you go down that line and you say, all right, I got to get this done and this done and this done. And it's not just calling a place and saying, hey, can you feed 60 coaches, football players, and cheerleaders? Can you feed us? 2, can you fill out this vendor information so I can get it to my bookkeeper? And 3, will you take a check when we get there, and so forth and so on. So there's a lot into it, but what a privilege to be in the playoffs. You don't look at it as a burden by any means. You look at it as an opportunity, and we're looking forward to the opportunity of going down there and playing, and the opportunity of winning a second-round game.
Well, Coach, we thank you so much for spending some time with us here this week. Best wishes for you and your football team. Safe travels to Abbeville for what is going to be one of the better matchups in the second round of the state in any classification, B.B. Comer and Abbeville.
Thank you.
Coach Adam Fawcett, head coach of the B.B. Comer Tigers.
All high school students should have an opportunity to participate in interscholastic athletics. Students can gain so much from participating in extracurricular activities through sport. Not only do they learn sportsmanship, they learn respect, and they learn teamwork. All of these are characteristics that students could carry with them throughout the rest of their lives.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been dedicated to our customers and excellence in all areas. With constant improvements to our facilities, to adding new products and services to better serve you, our team is fully engaged in all the communities we serve. First Bank of Alabama knows that time is money, so we offer hometown services with advanced technology that allows you to bank on your own schedule. We want to be your community bank, so stop by. Come see us at First Bank of Alabama, where you're always first.
Hi, I'm Kevin Riggin, General Manager here at the new Team One Chevrolet in Gadsden, where it's a new day. At Team One Chevrolet, we do whatever it takes to make your buying experience the best. As a matter of fact, you don't have to buy our vehicles at all. If you have an extra vehicle, we'll buy your car or truck today. That's right, we will buy your vehicle to help build our pre-owned inventory. Come by and see us at Team One Chevrolet on Meagan Boulevard in Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Hot under the collar because your basement is full of water? Ox Foundation Solutions has the expertise and the know-how to repair cracks, wet basements and crawl spaces, and uneven floors in your home. It's time to get strong. OxStrong.com.
We are back on the AHSAA Weekly. Time for David Holsford's highlights. David Holsford of the Alabama High School Athletic Association compiling highlights from all across the state of Alabama from last week's games. And we'll begin, obviously, with football. And we've got some great football action from the playoffs last week, beginning in Tuscaloosa. Unbeaten American Christian taking charge quickly in this 4A first-round playoff battle with Geneva. Quarterback William Suit tosses a screen pass to Sawyer Dearman, who speeds down the left sideline and weaves across the field for the game's first touchdown. Later on in the opening quarter, we're going to see Brandon Waller. He's going to take this handoff and follow his blockers untouched into the end zone for another Patriot score. And then he's going to follow that up once again. Brandon Waller, will see him coming up next with another big run. This one a 45-yard touchdown run for American Christian, playing at home in Tuscaloosa against Geneva in the first round of the Class 4A state playoffs. Still in the first half, we'll go back to the quarterback again, Suit. He's going to fake the handoff and sell a pass to Dearman on a crossing route, and the speedy receiver outruns the defenders to the end zone, and American Christian went on to post a 65-21 win over the Geneva Panthers. Still in Class 4A, our next stop will be Madison Academy against Dora. Madison Academy gets on top quickly when quarterback Avery Seaton gets his pass away to receiver Caden Cherry just before taking the big hit, and Caden Cherry races 72 yards for a Mustangs touchdown in the game played up at Madison. Then we're going to see Seaton once again connecting with Timothy Spurlock in double coverage later in the half for another big TD pass. As he takes it into the same end zone there, leg cramp along the way as he falls into the end zone for the Madison Academy touchdown. Then Dora quarterback Garrett Hoagland scrambles out of the pocket to get the Bulldogs TD. This ties the game at 14-14 with this touchdown by the Dora Bulldogs. But Madison Academy's defense would prove to be too strong. Joseph Follett III forcing this fumble that is picked up by teammate William Stokes, who rambles into the end zone, and the Mustangs will advance to round number 2, a 49-14 win. And that was the big win for Madison Academy, 49-14 over Dora in the Class 4A state playoffs. Now we move to Mobile in Class 7A action, where Theodore quarterback Landon Hertrider hands off to Tarian Richardson, and the speedy runner dashed 36 yards for a Bobcats TD against Enterprise. The Wildcats striking back quickly, however. Quentin Hayes passing to Jared Smith for an Enterprise touchdown. Then later on in the second half, Theodore was trailing when Kirsten Rogers powers his way into the end zone for a Theodore touchdown, cutting the Wildcats' lead to 2. Hertrider completes the comeback in the fourth period, however, handing off to Rogers again on a misdirection play, and he breaks away for a touchdown and a 40-28 Theodore victory and a berth in the second round of the 7A playoffs. We next go to Alabaster, where defending Class 7A state champion Thompson taking on Grissom of Huntsville. The undefeated Warriors waste no time flexing their muscle. Quarterback Connor Harrell hits receiver Nathan Crockett in motion, then follows his blockers and leaps into the end zone, giving Thompson the early first quarter lead. The Tigers mishandled the following kickoff, and the Warriors recover. That's going to lead to another quick touchdown for Thompson. You see the fumble recovery right there on the miscue, and we're going to see this time Harrell, the quarterback, fine quarterback for Thompson, going to take the handoff and actually going to keep the handoff and keep it himself on an option for the score, and a 14-0 Thompson lead in the game played there at Alabaster. And then we're going to see Crockett once again, going to add another long-distance touchdown, and the Warriors move one step closer to a third straight trip to the Class 7A finals with a 49-7 first-round playoff win over the Grissom Tigers. Now we take you to Montgomery. Trinity Presbyterian taking on Flomaton. Montgomery's Trinity Presbyterian School taking on Flomaton in this Class 5A first-round battle that turned out to be all it was billed to be. Trinity quarterback John David Bonner gets the Wildcats breaking a scoreless tie in the second half with this soft pass to Jake Huffam, who takes it in stride. Jukes' defender, runs free into the end zone, giving Trinity a 7-0 lead in the third quarter. Hurricanes would tie the game in the fourth quarter when quarterback Demarion Finley scoots up the middle for a Flomaton touchdown and a 7-7 deadlock. With time winding down, Trinity place kicker Graydon Flowers boots the winning field goal from 42 yards out, and the Wildcats advance to round 2 with a 10-7 win over the Flomaton Hurricanes. And finally, in the WOTM game of the week, this Class 7A battle between Hewitt-Trussville and James Clemens at Madison. All Huskies from the start. Hewitt quarterback Cade Carruth fakes a handoff, finds running back Sean Jackson wide open for a Huskies touchdown to open the scoring. Hewitt's talented senior running back Armani Goodwin made it 14-0 with this impressive run right down the right sideline. And to top off the night, Coach Josh Floyd reached deep down into his playbook, and he ran the fumble-rooski to perfection when Connor Thomas, hiding behind his big offensive line, takes a slick handoff from Carruth, plays possum for a couple of counts, and then speeds around the left sideline for the touchdown as Grissom's defense chases Carruth around the other flank. A replay right here. Easy to hide behind that big line there. Hewitt-Trussville cruised to a 55-12 win to set up a rematch with Region 3 rival Thompson in the AHSAA Network Game of the Week right here on WOTM this coming Friday night. Thanks to David Holtzford and folks from around the state of Alabama submitting highlights to the NFHS Network and, of course, highlights from right here on WOTM. For David Holtzford's highlights for this week.
Home making you sick? Moisture and unsafe air from your crawl space can infiltrate your home, causing health hazards and high utility bills. Ox Foundation Solutions can remedy any mold or mildew problem in your home. It's time to get strong. How strong? Ox Strong. Get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
As we wrap up this week's edition of the AHSAA Weekly, we want to honor veterans. This week, of course, is Veterans Day. And over the years and across this great nation, thousands of individuals in the military forces have served and sacrificed so that we may live free. President John F. Kennedy once said, quote, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them," unquote. While November 11th is dedicated solely to honor our U.S. veterans, we must never forget the sacrifices that the veterans have made to defend our country and to protect our freedom. We must always remember, not just today, but every day, that because of their valor and service, we have the rights we have today. On behalf of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, to those who have served and to those who are serving, past, present, and future, and to the AHSAA member coaches, administrators, and officials who are veterans or in active duty, thank you and God bless you. And we will see you back here on the AHSAA Weekly next week.